Captain Alex Mercer looked out from the observation deck of the human research vessel Odyssey. Zithera, a planet in the outer edges of the Trion cluster, spun below him like a sapphire jewel. Its forest glimmered in colors that the human eye could barely register, and faint streaks of energy coursed through the atmosphere like veins of light. Scientists had long warned that Zithera was unusual, not just because of its vibrant ecosystem, but because of its people, the Zitherans. They were known to be secretive, highly intelligent, and guarded. Humans had never truly interacted with them up close. Alex tightened his grip on the railing, feeling a mixture of excitement and caution. He had spent years training for this mission, preparing for the diplomacy, the research, and the unknown dangers. The Zitherans had made one thing very clear before they allowed the humans near their planet: observe but do not touch. Curiosity is a gift. Misuse of it is a punishment. Alex had read and reread the warnings. Every member of his team had. But human curiosity was difficult to suppress, especially when presented with something as extraordinary as Zithera. The landing was smooth. The humans stepped onto the surface, their suits adjusting automatically to the planet's environment. Immediately, they sensed something different. The air was alive with faint hums of energy, and even their equipment seemed to respond in subtle ways, as if the planet itself was aware of their presence. A Zitheran guide approached them, a tall figure with iridescent skin and eyes that reflected the colors of the forests. The guide's movements were fluid, almost as if they were gliding rather than walking. "Welcome, humans," the guide said. "We trust you understand the rules. Observe, learn, do not intrude." Alex nodded, bowing slightly. "We understand. We're here to study, not disturb." The guide's eyes seemed to pierce through him, and for a moment Alex felt a strange pressure in his mind. He shook it off, dismissing it as a trick of nerves. For days, the humans observed Zithera's cities from a distance. The structures were elegant and functional, harmonizing with the planet's natural energy. They moved with purpose, but their lives seemed quiet and deliberate. Alex's team recorded data, marveling at the psychic energy fields and the advanced technology that seemed to draw power from the planet itself. But as the team delved deeper into their research, Alex noticed anomalies. Some areas seemed impossible to access. The energy readings spiked whenever they approached certain zones, and wildlife avoided them in unusual patterns. The Zitherans, while outwardly calm, seemed always aware of their position, as if the humans' very thoughts could be felt. Alex's curiosity burned. He knew the warnings, but the humans were trained observers. Surely a careful glance would do no harm. One evening, after the main team had returned to the vessel, Alex and two colleagues, Dr. Lin and Engineer Ramirez, decided to explore a restricted area at the edge of a glowing forest. The air grew dense as they approached. Energy lines coursed visibly through the ground, connecting massive crystalline structures. Alex felt a tingle in his skull, a subtle warning. "Careful," he whispered. "Something is unusual here." Dr. Lin nodded, but her eyes shone with excitement. "It's incredible. Look at the energy flow. It's like nothing we've ever seen." Alex stepped closer, and suddenly a sharp vibration shot through his body. The trees around them shimmered, and the crystalline structures pulsed in response. It was as if the planet itself had noticed their intrusion. Ramirez stumbled, clutching his head. "Alex, I feel weird." Alex shook him off. "Focus, we're observers, remember? Just watch." A soft hum filled the air, almost a voice in their minds. "Curiosity comes at a cost," it seemed to say. Alex's stomach twisted, but he pushed onward, driven by human determination. For a moment, they were rewarded. The energy source at the center of the zone was breathtaking, a glowing core suspended above the ground, radiating light and warmth. Alex knew this was the heart of Zithera's energy network. The implications for human science were enormous, but their triumph was short-lived. A shimmer appeared, and before them stood a Zitheran sentinel. Its presence was imposing yet serene, and the air around it vibrated with psychic energy. "You should not be here," it said. The voice wasn't just heard, it was felt. It penetrated their thoughts, showing them images of what could happen if outsiders tampered with the planet's energy. Cities collapsing, forests burning, wildlife fleeing. Alex took a step back. "We meant no harm. We just wanted to observe, carefully." The sentinel regarded him silently, and then a pulse of energy shot toward Alex. He staggered but didn't fall. It wasn't lethal, but it forced him to experience a vision. a human world devastated by misuse of energy, chaos and destruction, a reminder of what curiosity without caution could bring. Dr. Lin clutched Alex's arm. We need to leave, she whispered, shaken. The sentinel's eyes glowed softly. Curiosity is a gift, but every gift has limits. Then it dissipated, leaving the humans trembling. Back on the vessel, Alex tried to make sense of what had happened. The mission logs would record their observations, but he knew they had crossed a line. Not in malice, but in human instinct. The need to explore, to understand, to see what others deemed forbidden. Sleep that night brought no relief. Alex dreamed of the planet, its energy lines intertwining with human neural pathways. He felt the weight of Zithara's judgment pressing down, subtle but insistent. Each time he closed his eyes, he saw the sentinel's glow, the pulsing energy, and the warning that curiosity was not without consequence. The next morning, the Zitharan guide returned, calm but watchful. Your actions have consequences, it said. The planet is forgiving, but only to those who respect its limits. Learn from this, human. Learn and return prepared. Alex nodded, feeling the truth of the words settle deep within him. Human ingenuity was formidable, but Zithara's forces were older, wiser, and infinitely patient. To proceed recklessly would be dangerous, not just for them, but for the planet itself. Yet despite the warnings, Alex's mind raced. The energy core, the visions, the sense of connection he had felt, it called to him. Humans had a history of turning risk into opportunity, danger into progress. He had to understand Zithara, but carefully, respectfully, strategically. As the Odyssey departed Zithara's orbit for the first leg of their journey home, Alex stood at the observation deck once more. Below, the forest shimmered in silent judgment, the cities glowing faintly like stars fallen to the ground. He whispered to himself, "We'll return, but we'll do it right." And deep in the forests, unseen, the sentinel watched, acknowledging his resolve. Curiosity had not been punished this time. Not completely, but the first lessons had been learned. The humans had seen the edge of Zithara's secrets. They had glimpsed the power of a world unlike any other, and as the stars stretched before them, Alex knew one thing for certain. Human curiosity, guided by respect and intelligence, could achieve what even Zitharans had never expected, but Zithara would not give its secrets freely. Every step closer would demand wisdom, courage, and patience, and Captain Alex Mercer was determined to meet that challenge no matter the consequences. Captain Alex Mercer stood at the edge of the observation deck, staring at Zithara's glowing forest below. Weeks had passed since their first encounter with the planet's hidden energy core, and the memory of the Zitharan Sentinel and its warning still weighed heavily on his mind. Yet the pull of curiosity remained irresistible. Humanity had always been defined by its desire to explore, to understand the unknown, and Alex could not ignore the challenge Zithara had presented. This time, he would return prepared. He had spent countless hours analyzing data from their previous visit, understanding the planet's energy patterns, and developing equipment to shield their minds from subtle psychic feedback. His team was ready. They were no longer simple observers. They were human problem solvers, ready to meet Zithara on its own terms. As the Odyssey descended toward the surface, Alex felt a mixture of anticipation and respect. The Zitharans had warned him before. The planet did not punish curiosity indiscriminately, but reckless actions could have serious consequences. He had no intention of repeating past mistakes. The landing was smooth, almost eerily so, as if Zithara itself acknowledged their careful approach. The forests glimmered with energy lines, but this time, the team's shielding devices muted the subtle pressure that had unnerved them before. The air seemed alive, but no longer threatening. The Zitharan guide appeared, gliding toward them with the same calm grace as before. Its eyes reflected curiosity, tempered with caution. "You have returned," it said. "Do you understand the risks?" Alex bowed slightly. "We do. We are here to help, to learn and to respect your rules. We wish to observe and, if possible, assist." The guide regarded him for a long moment, then nodded. "Follow me." They walked through the glowing forests deeper than ever before. The energy lines pulsed with a soft rhythm, and Alex could feel the connection between the planet and the Zitharans growing stronger. Finally, they reached the zone where the energy core had been glimpsed during their first visit. The crystalline structures glowed softly, and the core itself shimmered above the ground, suspended by invisible forces. "This is the heart of our planet's energy," the guide explained. "It sustains all life here. Any disruption could be catastrophic." Alex's mind raced with possibilities. Humans had faced many complex problems, and he knew that with careful analysis they could offer assistance without causing harm. As he studied the energy field, he noticed something troubling, a subtle fluctuation in the core's stability. "Small but concerning. Is it dangerous?" Dr. Lin asked, her voice hushed. "Potentially," Alex replied. "We might be able to help stabilize it carefully." The guide's eyes widened slightly. "Assistance is permitted only under supervision." Alex nodded. "Understood. We will follow your guidance." The Zitherans led them closer. Alex and his team worked alongside the alien scientists, adjusting flow regulators and stabilizing the energy conduits. His human ingenuity complemented their precision. Where Zitherans relied on mental control and subtle psychic adjustments, humans applied mechanical solutions, quick calculations, and improvisation. At first, it was delicate work. The energy pulses were unpredictable, and even minor mistakes could have caused severe disruptions. But Alex's team was careful. They observed, adapted, and found solutions that Zitherans themselves had overlooked. "Your methods are unusual," the guide admitted, "but effective." Alex smiled, a mixture of pride and relief. "Humans have always found ways to solve problems. Sometimes differently, but we get results." As they worked, Alex felt a deep connection forming with Zithera itself. Unlike the fleeting visions from their previous encounter, this connection was grounded in cooperation. He could sense the planet responding to their adjustments, the energy flows harmonizing with their careful interventions. The planet was alive, and it recognized their respect. After hours of precise work, the core stabilized. Its glow became steady, pulsing with a healthy rhythm that seemed almost alive. The Zitherans observed quietly, then the guide spoke. "You have done well. Few outsiders would have been capable of this without causing harm." Alex exhaled. "We only wanted to help. That's what humans do. We see a problem, we find a way to solve it." The guide regarded him with an expression that almost resembled admiration. "Humans are different. Your curiosity can be dangerous, but your intelligence and caution are valuable." Alex felt a surge of pride tempered by humility. They had learned the first lesson. Curiosity must be balanced with respect. They had also demonstrated the second. Human ingenuity could complement alien wisdom in ways even Zitherans had not anticipated. As the day ended, the team prepared to leave the core zone. Alex lingered for a moment, looking at the energy pulses shimmering above the ground. He felt a profound sense of connection and responsibility. Zithera's energy was not just a resource, it was life itself. Humanity's reach could touch it, but only if approached with care. That night, around the campfire, the humans discussed their experiences. Dr. Lin was still amazed. "I never imagined we could actually help stabilize a planetary core," she said. Ramirez shook his head. "And without getting fried or driven mad by psychic feedback. That was impressive." Alex smiled, but his mind was already working ahead. "This is just the beginning. There's so much more to learn, and if we continue with care, we could gain knowledge that benefits both our worlds." The Zitheran guide approached them again. "Your actions have earned our trust, human. Not complete, but enough to allow further observation under supervision. You have proven that your species' curiosity, when guided by intelligence and respect, can be constructive." Alex bowed deeply. "Thank you. We will honor that trust." Over the next several days, the humans worked alongside the Zitherans, learning about energy manipulation, the planet's ecosystem, and the subtle psychic connections that bound everything together. Each day brought new challenges and new insights. Alex observed that human persistence, creativity, and willingness to take careful risks complemented Zitheran precision and patience. One evening, while observing the energy lines from a high vantage point, Alex felt the Sentinel's presence again, not threatening but watchful. He realized that Zithera itself had accepted them, recognizing that humans could be allies rather than intruders. Curiosity had led them here, but respect and intelligence had earned them this opportunity. As the mission drew to a close, Alex reflected on everything they had experienced. The humans had arrived as outsiders, curious and bold but untested. They had faced consequences, learned difficult lessons, and adapted. In the process, they had shown the Zitherans the value of humanity, not through aggression or dominance, but through ingenuity, courage, and respect. The Odyssey prepared for departure once more. This time, Alex felt a sense of accomplishment, not just for what they had learned, but for the bond they had forged. Zithera's secrets were still vast and mysterious, but they had gained trust, a rare and precious achievement. Before leaving, the Zitheran guide approached Alex one final time. "Remember, human," it said, its voice calm but firm. "Curiosity is powerful. It can create or destroy. You have shown wisdom in using it. Do not forget the lessons of this world." Alex nodded. "We won't. Humans are curious by nature, but we also learn. That's how we survive. That's how we grow." The guide inclined its head and disappeared into the forests. Below, Zithera shimmered in the fading light, alive and aware. The humans had walked carefully among its secrets and emerged wiser. They had faced consequences, respected boundaries, and shown that human ingenuity could earn the respect of a civilization far older and wiser than themselves. As the Odyssey lifted off and rose into orbit, Alex stood at the observation deck once more, watching the planet recede. He knew this was only the beginning. Humanity's place in the galaxy would be defined by curiosity, courage, and intelligence. Zithera had tested them, and humanity had passed, not through force, but through the best qualities of their nature. And somewhere in the forest below, the Zitheran sentinel watched, acknowledging the humans' growth. Curiosity had consequences, yes, but when paired with wisdom, it could also bring understanding, partnership, and progress. Alex smiled. Humanity had not only survived the challenge, they had earned a place among the stars that was uniquely their own.